and Kim Jong-un. The North Korean dictator plans to hold another historic meeting at the end of April with the president of South Korea. Mike Huckabee, former governor of Arkansas, reacts.
I do think the movement is a little encouraging. I mean, the Hermit Kingdom, its leader, the Hermit himself, has come out of the hidey hole. He's gone to China. He's going to meet with the South Koreans, and he may meet with the president in May. All of that is significant, but I don't think anybody's holding his or her breath and saying, oh, this is going to be just a wonderful time and everybody will toast marshmallows and sing Kumbaya.
Well, that paints a wonderful picture, doesn't it? Joining us now, Peter Brookes, Senior Fellow at the Heritage Foundation and a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense. So Kim Jong-un has come out of his hidey hole. How significant is this summit?
Well, there's a lot going on. There's no question about it. And I think many of us are scratching our head as to what has resulted, what caused this tremendous change in North Korea's position. Why are they doing this? But I think we're going to learn a lot from this North-South summit. And will certainly, as you mentioned, set the stage and provide us a lot of information and background on what the president may expect when he meets with Kim, especially on the issue of denuclearization, Julie, because how do they define that and what is the price they're going to ask for if they're actually willing to do it?
Kim Jong-un's surprise visit with China's President Xi Jinping was certainly a sight for sore eyes, and so was this picture, which I happen to really enjoy looking at. So can we put it on TV, please? It speaks 1,000 words. I guess that's what it looks like when you shake hands while standing side by side for a photo op. But this was the first time that Un had actually left North Korea since taking over in 2011 at age 27. What's going on? Why now? I mean, is he finally growing up? And I guess, what should we read about or into his motives or his intentions?
Well, it's geopolitical chess. And they're playing a very masterful game. They know they want to tell the world that China's got their back. They're maybe hoping for some sweeteners, Julie, as we would say, where China might loosen some of the economic sanctions that are so painful to North Korea. China also wants to be a player in the outcome here. Remember, China borders North Korea. And obviously, you saw who went to see who in this case.
Yeah.
And I think the Chinese have been very unhappy with Kim, and this might help that relationship a little bit. But yes, very strong signaling, very symbolic, and it changes the game significantly.
Yeah, no, it's interesting you point out who went to go see who. I mean, he has not left North Korea since he took, over in 2011. Right. China says, interesting, because their versions of this meeting are a little different. I mean, China says that the North promises to denuclearize the Korean Peninsula. The North, well, they didn't really mention anything about that in their readout of the talks. So the key question the world needs to ask is, what does he want for those nukes?
Yeah, that's the big question. What's the quid pro quo? You know, I think they're going to ask for U.S. forces to leave. They may ask for us to denuclearize to a certain extent, to remove our nuclear umbrella from South Korea. And some of those have been, in play in the past, and they've never been acceptable to us. So I think it's going to be difficult. I think, the president, if he meets with Kim, it could set the stage for future talks. We don't have a lot of time before May. We need to see American officials meeting with North Koreans to talk about things, but we're going to learn a lot from this meeting with South Korea, certainly.
I wonder what denuclearization really means to Kim Jong-un. I mean, that's the question, because
the devil's
to the
in the
rest
details.
of the world, it means no nukes whatsoever, no plants, no activity whatsoever. That's something he's held on to very dearly and has boasted and bragged about building. Where do all the weapons go if he then releases them?
I'm very skeptical he's going to be willing to do that.
Yeah.
He may stop developing them. He may ask for a minimum credible deterrent. I mean, to have some weapons for his security. His price for denuclearizing may be too high. The other difficulties, Julie, is verification. We've had problems with this in the past. When I was at the Pentagon in the Bush administration, we found out North Korea was cheating on the Clinton administration's era nuclear agreement. So there's a lot of skepticism in dealing with North Korea.
Right.
How far are they willing to go? And that's what we're going to find out in the next 2 months.
I think we should try to look at this as the glass is half full. Obviously, the sanctions are working because, like you very brightly pointed out, he went to go visit China, not the other way around. So something's working.
But what's causing this epiphany, I think, is really what people are scratching their head about. What is this major? It's a 180-degree change from where he was a couple of weeks ago when he's talking about making ceasefire of Seoul and Washington.
And under the Trump administration. So a big coup for the Trump administration as well.
They deserve credit.
Peter Brookes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Republicans considering a new round of tax cuts, a move